Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is a Shop My Stash inspired by Valentine's Day. I think this video should actually go up on Valentine's Day, but I wanted to just go through my collection, pick out some things that I haven't used in a while, and I just wanted to create a soft glam look today. So very much a Blair look, like very similar to the looks that you see me do quite a bit. I did pull out some really soft pink things, and I just want to create a very signature Blair soft glam inspired by Valentine's Day. So that is today's video. And if you are new here, my name is Blair and I do all kinds of beauty content here on my channel. I would love for you to subscribe if you have not already. And let's get into the Shop My Stash. Okay, let's pick some makeup. Starting with primers, let's choose something new to use. Let's use this one from Danessa Myricks. This is the Yummy Skin Glow Serum. This is a very new product to me, and I just don't have much experience with it at all. So let's use this today for just a glowy, hydrating primer. Now for the base, okay, sometimes I have like something in my head that I really want to use, but I really don't today. I want to use something I haven't used in a while. All right, I'm thinking either the Huda Easy Blur, or this is another product I haven't used in a while, mainly because the shade is off. This is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. I would need to mix in my white pigment with this for sure, but I definitely haven't used this lately. Let's go for e.l.f. I have used the Huda somewhat recently. I know that I like that one, so this one has been quite a while. I'll just have to kind of play with the color, but let's go with the e.l.f. one for a foundation. And then for color corrector, let's actually do these two. So I've done this before, but it's been a little while. This is the Caliray, which I use all the time. This is like one of my favorite products ever. I have this Makeup Forever HD Skin Corrector that's a really fair kind of beigey pink color. This is way too light on its own as a color corrector, but mixed with this, it's actually a really good combination. I haven't done that in a little while, so let's mix those two for a color corrector. And then finally, let's pick a concealer. Let's do one that I have not used in a while. This is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. This is pretty full coverage from what I remember, and I think the shade should be okay. If not, we may have to mix this with something. I don't know, but I do like this concealer. It's just not one that I use a whole lot, but I think maybe we'll go with that for a concealer option. Maybe I should pick a lighter concealer also that I could add to that just in case that's a little bit too deep. Let's just do this Tarte Creaseless concealer. This one is shade Light 22N, but I'm pretty sure this is a little bit lighter than that Jouer concealer. So we'll pick that just in case we need it. And that should be everything for here. All right, moving on to this drawer. So we have bronzers, base palettes, powders, and highlighters in here. I do have this that I don't use very often. This is from Makeup Forever. This is like one of their, what is this called? The HD Skin Face Essentials palette. So you pretty much get everything in here. You get like bronzer shade, contour, some complexion shades as well, a few highlighters, and a few blushes in here. The reason I don't reach for this a ton is because the times that I have used this, I did find the creams a little bit difficult to work with. Like I feel like I have to really concentrate to be able to use this. It's not like a super effortless product for me. So I don't know, maybe I'm not. I have to kind of be in the mood to do that, and I'm not really I don't think that's the vibe today. So let's choose a bronzer, maybe a cream and a powder, or maybe just a cream. Okay, here's one I have not used in a while. The Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin bronzer. This one is the shade Fair. Looks like this. This is actually a really good one. I just have not used it in a long time. I think this shade right now might be a good tone for me as well. So why don't we pull that out? And then I do have a powder bronzer in my everyday makeup drawer and in my project pan. So if I decide I want a powder, I'll just pull from there. So I think that's the only bronzer I'm gonna choose. And then over here for powder, this is a good powder I haven't used in a little while. This is again from Jouer. It's their, what is this called? Soft Focus Hydrate and Blur powder. It's pretty light. So I usually use this kind of in the center of the face, but this is a really nice powder actually that I don't ever really hear anyone talk about. Maybe we'll pull that out. I may be able to get away with just that for powder and not something else, but actually, okay, I guess if I do need a loose powder, I'll use what's in my project pan or my everyday makeup drawer. So we'll just go with that one powder. And then, all right, one more thing. I kind of want to pull this out, this Dior Forever Glow Maximizer in this pink color, either to use alone as a highlighter or maybe even to mix with my blush or something. I love these. I haven't used my pink one in a little while. So I think I will also pull that out. And I think that's gonna be it for this drawer. Moving on to blush. So I'm thinking I definitely want to do a pink blush. That's kind of the, since this is supposed to be kind of a Valentine's Day look, I don't know that I'm going to make the whole look pink, 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 but I do want like a soft pink on the cheeks, I think. So for the blush, Glassy Pomelo from House Labs. This is a really pretty pink, but I guess you could say it's more of like a peachy pink. I would say it leans more pink though. That's more of like a glossy formula. I do really like that one though. So we've got that, we've got Rare Beauty. Of course there's the Patrick Ta in the shade Just Enough. And that is a really pretty like cooler toned soft pink. I just don't know where it is. Or we could also do a Mario blush, one of the soft sculpt, or not soft sculpt, the blush veils. This is Pinch Me Pink. It's like a lighter, kind of warmer pink. These are not super pigmented either, so I could probably pair it with a powder blush on top. A lot of my pinks that I have are more of like dusty rose kind of shades, not as much like soft lighter pinks. Here's Just Enough from Patrick Ta. This is also really pretty, very cool toned. Kind of feeling the Pinch Me Pink from Mario and then pairing it with a powder blush. I think maybe we'll do that. And let's see, for the powder, oh, I know what would be good actually. Let's do French Rosé from RMS. Honestly, you could do this one just on its own without the cream underneath, but this color is exactly the kind of tone that I'm thinking. So let's go for that for powder. And that is everything for here. For the eyes, I want to do something, I don't know, very soft. Probably a little bit pinky, but not like pink pink, like more neutral pink. I was kind of thinking about this. Maybe this is Tom Ford, the cream formula in Rose Topaz. This is really beautiful, that pink there. It's not really pink, it's like a beigey pink. But this palette in general is like, so pretty. So I'm thinking maybe I might use that because I haven't used that in a while. And then I also might pull this out from Merit. This is the single shadow in Studio. They call it a taupe. I would say it's more of like a pinky taupe. On my skin tone at least, it's more of a pinky taupe. I might even use this as like a base maybe underneath that. So I think I will also pull that out, and then I'm trying to think if there's any other like topper type of shade that might be pretty. I do have this actually from Hourglass too. This is the Scattered Light eyeshadow in Reflect. It's pink, but it's a very soft kind of like a champagne-y pink. That is also really pretty. I guess I could pull that out too, and we'll just decide later. And I may not use this, but I'm going to pull it out. This Sigma Eye Base in Persuade, which these are finally back in stock now. I was getting worried because they've been out of stock for a little while, but it's finally back now. And this is my favorite eye primer. This one's more of a pinky tone, so it would kind of go well with this. I might not end up using this, but I'm gonna pull that out anyways. For mascara, I'll probably just use what I have in my everyday makeup drawer just to make that more easy. Brows, I'll probably do the same thing. I'll just use what I have out. And then the only other thing I think I might pull out, I don't know if I'll use it, but this RMS Beauty eyeliner in Plum Definition. I bought this for my full face of RMS video a few weeks ago, and this beautiful eggplant color I just really liked. I kind of want to possibly use that again. I don't know, we'll see, but I figured I'll just go ahead and pull it out. And I think honestly that's everything for this drawer. Finally, for the lip, this may change because it's kind of hard to pick a lip until you like see the rest of the makeup, but I'll just pull out a few things, I guess, starting with lip liner. I have one that is kind of in the back of my mind that I want to pull out if I can find it. It's makeup by Mario, but it's I have a mini in it, so it's right here. This Mario liner in Smoky Pink. I've really been liking this color lately. I do usually end up mixing it with something, but this is kind of like a dusty pink liner. It's really pretty. It's actually very similar to my natural lip color. So I think I'll pull that, and may pull a little bit of Endless Cacao too. I don't use this that often, but I'm gonna kind of maybe play around with that. And then to go with that, I think I might pull this from Merit. This is the shade Classic. I believe this is the matte formula. Yeah, the Signature Lip Matte. This is a pretty nice neutral pink. It's not like super warm or super cool. So I think I might pull that. I do have this. This is brand new. I got this in PR probably 2 weeks ago. This is one of the new lip products from the Chantecaille Le Papillon, I don't know if I'm saying that right, collection. It's the Butterfly collection. This color and ringlet, so pretty. It's like a sheer pink that has just like the tiniest bit of a really fine shimmer in it, but it's really nice. That could also be pretty, so I might pull that out too. I also have a few things in my everyday makeup drawer that might work, so I think we'll just go with those for now, and that should be everything. Let's start with SPF, and I think I have finally found an SPF combination that I really like. Unfortunately, I have to mix two things, but you know what? I like it, so I'm gonna call that a win. This is the La Roche-Posay Anthelios Light Fluid Sunscreen. So I bought the mineral, just the non-tinted version first, and I like this a lot. It feels really good on the skin. Seems to do pretty well under makeup, but it does have a little bit of a white cast. So a few weeks ago, I was thinking, I wonder what would happen if I ordered the tinted one and did like half and half. So half tinted and half just the plain one. And the combination that I have figured out that works well is 2 fingers of the non-tinted and 1 finger of the tinted. And it just ever so slightly takes away the white color of the non-tinted, but it's not very much tint at all. So it doesn't add a ton of color to my skin. Because I'm not a huge fan of tinted SPFs for under makeup. I always feel like they kind of interfere with the color of your foundation, and I don't know, I'm just not a huge fan of that. But when I just use a little bit of the tinted one and I use more of the non-tinted one, it's not an issue. And it's like the perfect color for my skin. So this is what I've been doing. Of course, not the most economical thing because I had to buy 2 of them, unfortunately, but I like it. So right now we're gonna go with this since I gotta use mineral. But this stuff feels so good on the skin. It's very thin and lightweight, and it's supposed to have more of a matte finish. And I guess it does, but I would say it's not like super drying matte on the skin. It's like a softer matte finish, I guess. But this seems to be what's working for me right now. Let's move into the primer that we picked. So this is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum Primer. I have not had this product for very long. In fact, I've only used this twice. One of them was in a video and one was just like on my own. And I'm still not sure exactly how I feel about it. It's super hydrating. It feels great on the skin. Very pigmented. It does have a little bit of a tint to it, but once you blend it out, the tint kind of goes away. But it's very, very fragranced. But other than that, it feels so good. Like this feels incredible on my skin. If you have dry skin, it's kind of like, trying to describe or think of what it feels like. It feels more like a skincare product, honestly, than like a typical makeup primer. It's really, really, really nice, especially if you have dry skin. For foundation, I pulled out the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation, and this one is the shade 21 Light Neutral. If I remember correctly, this is not neutral. Shocker. But yeah, so that is shade 21 right there. Definitely leans on the warm side, so I'm gonna have to kind of fix this shade a little bit. So, because it's definitely too dark and it's a little bit too warm, so we're gonna have to hope for the best here. Sometimes my mixers work really well and sometimes mixing still doesn't seem to fix it, but we'll see. Sorry, my memory card was full and I was just sitting here talking, but I just mixed those 3 together. So the e.l.f. foundation, the blue pigment, and the Haus Labs white pigment, and I think the color is decent, maybe not like exact, but looks pretty good from a distance. I'll have to see when I go back and edit this, but it's always kind of a gamble when you try to mix the shade. Okay, that foundation actually looks really, really good on my skin. Like very smooth, not super matte, but not super dewy. So I think that one claims to be a satin foundation. I think it is. Let's move into color corrector. So I'm gonna do my Caliray corrector in Cool Sunrise, but did you guys just see that they just released new shades of this? So I ordered one of them and they look like some light medium shades. So they've had like really fair shades, more of like medium shades, which is what this one is, and then some deeper shades, but it looks like the new ones are more like light to light medium. So one of them is like look like a peachy pink, a really good peachy pink. That's what it looks like online, at least. I did order that. I haven't gotten it yet, but it's supposed to come today. I'm just really excited to try a new shade. But anyways, today I am mixing these two. So that was the Caliray in the shade Cool Sunrise, and then this Makeup Forever in the shade 0.1. It's really, really light pink. Too light for me on its own, but mixed with the Caliray one, it's a really good match. And these two formulas do really well together too. Okay, I'm using this Jouer High Cover Concealer, and I'm just gonna put this right here in these areas where I want a little bit more coverage. And I'm actually gonna skip the under eye concealer for right now, and we're gonna do that after cream bronzer. I've kind of been playing around with doing it that way lately, and because I see a lot of makeup artists doing that. They do the base product, whether it's like a foundation or a tinted moisturizer, and then they'll do bronzer and sometimes blush, and then they'll do concealer. And I don't know why, my brain just never thinks to do it in that order. I have to like force myself to change my order of how I do it. And I always think to do it after I've already done that step. So I just thought of it, so I guess we'll do it today. But I'm just gonna blend those in, and then we'll do some cream bronzer. For the cream bronzer, we pulled out this one, which this has been a very long time since I've used this. I do not remember. I mean, it looks okay, it smells okay, so we're gonna use it. But I do, from what I remember, I really like this bronzer. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin in the shade Fair. I'm gonna use this 116 from BK Beauty, one of the newer brushes, and start applying this. Okay, this is super pigmented. I kind of forgot about that. It's a really pretty tone for fair skin, but definitely very, very pigmented. So I don't know if you could tell, but this part of the video, the makeup part of the video, was filmed on a different day than the Shop My Stash part. I don't know if you could really tell in any of the clips where what I'm wearing was different than today, but I did film that on 2 different days because we have had a little bit of a rough week in our house. So we have, a lot of you know this, but we have a golden retriever. His name is Cosmo, and he is 10, so he's on the older side. And about, I guess a week ago now, we noticed he started acting really weird and just being like very kind of clingy. We noticed he was shaking his head a lot. He just kind of seemed very nervous, and that's really not that unusual for him. He's more of an anxious dog anyway, but he was just acting really, really weird. So let's see, this was last week, I guess, when this video goes up. We ended up taking him to the vet one morning because he just, I don't know, it just wasn't getting better. He was acting really strange. So we took him to the vet, and they told us that he had an ear infection in both ears, like a really bad ear infection. I think one of them was worse than the other, but they were both pretty bad. So we took him to the vet, and they tell us that, but they put some kind of drops in his ears and basically just said, you know, he's gonna have to heal from the ear infection. And that was that. So we came home, and he wasn't getting any better. He was actually getting worse. He was acting more strange. So like when I say strange, he was acting like he was dizzy, like he was having trouble like getting up from when he's lying down. And then once he was standing, he was very like unsteady on his feet. It was very strange. And it just kind of kept getting worse. So we were going to take him back to the vet, but then we ended up taking him to like an ER vet. And they did all this blood work on him, and all the blood work came back normal. Which, thank goodness, it came back normal, because we were both scared to death when we did that. But all of that came back fine. And they basically said they didn't know what was wrong, that he definitely could have like vertigo basically for a dog from the ear infection, because the ear infection was so bad. So we brought him back home. He still wasn't getting better, but you know, we've just kind of been trying to do our best to keep him comfortable. Well, then days were passing. He still wasn't getting better, so we took him back to the vet, like the regular vet. And they told us that really they didn't know. They thought, well, you know, it's just the ears. This ear infection is really throwing him off, all this stuff. So they gave us a steroid to give him, like an oral steroid. And he's been on that for 3 days now. And he's like 1,000 times better today. He's had ear infections and problems with his ears since we've had him for years. But I've never seen him act like that before from an ear infection. So it just kind of scared both of us. So it's been a little bit of a tough week, because if you know, animals, when they're sick and they can't like tell you what's wrong with them, it's just the worst thing ever, because you just don't know. And he just looks so pitiful. So anyways, that's why one of the days I started filming this video, and I filmed like the shot my stash part, but then I didn't end up filming the makeup part because I went to an appointment with him. So long story short, or I guess that was long, but anyway, basically we've just had a little bit of a rough week, but so far today and really yesterday too, I guess, he seems to be better. So fingers crossed for sweet Cosmo that he is on the mend, because it's been just so terrible and sad. All right, so I'm using the Makeup by Mario blush veil, which I love, but I'm using it in Pinch Me Pink, which is like a warmer, lighter pink that I really like. For the under eyes, I'm going to use the Tarte Creaseless Creamy Concealer. This one is the shade 22N, and oh, this is light. I don't remember this being this light, but it is. I did see on Friday, or Valentine's Day actually, Tarte is bringing back for the last time, I think, the Aspen Ovard palette for pre-order. I guess it's pre-order, I don't know, but I think this is going to be the last one, because I ended up missing the first one. That was about like 2 or 3 weeks ago, because I guess it sold out, or the pre-sale sold out in like an hour. So I'm hoping I can get my hands on that on Valentine's Day when it launches. I think it launches at 11 a.m. Eastern, I think. And this time I'm going to try to be like right on the site when it goes live, because last time I didn't see that they were doing a pre-sale for it until like much later in the day, and then they were all gone by the time I got on there. So I'm hoping this time I don't miss it. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more blush on this side, because I feel like I lost some of it with the concealer. And let's see, may add a little bit of concealer right there. I always tend to go a little bit low on this side, so sometimes I feel like I do this a lot, where I go under with concealer and clean it up a little bit, because I don't know why. I don't tend to go lower on this side. It's always on this side for some reason. So I'm just adding a little bit of that Tarte concealer there. I also pulled out this Dior Forever Glow Maximizer in the pink color. So I'm going to take just a little bit of that. I actually was going to mix them in with each other with the blush, but I forgot about it. So I'm just going to add that on top of the blush, just like one dot. I love these so much from Dior. If you saw my top 3 for highlighters a few weeks ago, this was one of them. They're just so nice and they blend into the skin so nicely. Just so good. I have the nude one too. The nude one's a little bit dark on my skin tone, like in the winter time, but it's really pretty in the summer. Y'all, this base looks absolutely incredible. Like everything just looks so seamless. Oh my goodness. I'm shocked, honestly. Okay, let's use some powder because we got a lot of glow happening. So I pulled out this one from Jouer. This is the Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder in the shade Fair. And I'm going to try this new brush. These are the new Jane Iredale brushes. They sent them to me. This is the powder one, and I have not tried any of them yet, so. I'm just going to set the center of the face. Ooh, this brush is soft. I've used this powder a little bit from Jouer, but I haven't used it a ton. This was also sent to me in PR a long time ago. Definitely on the lighter side for a powder. I feel like no one really talks about Jouer. Does anyone else feel like that? I feel like you used to hear about them more, but I don't ever really hear anyone talk about their products anymore. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this powder blush from RMS. This is French Rosé, and it's basically like the powder version of that Mario Pinch Me Pink. So I'm taking just a little bit of this over the top, not much. Pretty. And this is another Jane Iredale brush. This is called the Cheek Brush. I don't know if it's meant for creams or powders, but I love this color. So pretty. Taking a little bit of powder bronzer now. This is just my Project Pan bronzer, which is the Hourglass bronzer in Nude Bronze Light. And I'm just using a tiny bit of that on a Rephr 05. Let's do brows. I didn't pull out any brow products. I'm just going to use what I have in my everyday makeup drawer right now. So we're going to use this. This is NYX Powder Louder Pencil in Ash Brown. This is very, very nice if you like a pencil, but you like the look of powder in your brows. This works really, really well from NYX. So I'm just kind of outlining with this pencil, and then I think I'm gonna use a little bit of my Maybelline Build-A-Brow. This one is in medium brown. And I'm just gonna do a few little strokes with this. This one, I think, is almost gone. So I'm gonna have to get a new one soon. And then I'm just gonna use the brow gel that comes with the Maybelline to set them in place. This stuff is just so good. It gets me every time I use it. I'm just blown away by how good it is. All right, let's move into the eyes. I am going to start with the Sigma eye base in the shade Persuade, which these are back in stock now, by the way, at Sigma. I know a few of you are waiting for this to come back. It's been out of stock for a long time, but they are all back. And I am just blending this with a 206 from BK Beauty. So I did pull out the Merit single shadow in Studio, and I was thinking about using this, but I kind of want to use the Tom Ford palette in Rose Topaz instead. And I feel like if I layer both, that might be more than what I'm wanting. So I think we'll go in with the Tom Ford palette. I'm going to use this really pretty rosy kind of beigey color. And I am going to tap this all over the lid. And I'm using another new brush from Jane Iredale for this. This is the Fluffy Eye Brush. It's just kind of like a large shader style brush. And I'm just kind of packing this on all over. I didn't realize that shade was that light. Honestly, I could have probably done the Merit underneath. You know what? Maybe we will use a little bit of the Merit shadow because that is really, really light. I was thinking that color had a little bit more pigment to it. So I'm going to use the same brush. And I don't know how well these formulas will mix together, but I'm just trying to add a little bit of this kind of in the outer corner. I did kind of have to warm my Merit shadow up again because these, if you've ever used these, they're cream shadows like this, but once you don't use them for a while, they do kind of get that weird layer on the top, so you have to like break through it again. So I did have to do that with this. I guess I'm gonna use a little bit of the darkest color in here, and I'm going to try to use this brush. This is the detail brush from Jane Iredale. I don't know how well it will pick up this shadow. Well, oh, okay, picked it up very well, a little bit more than I was wanting. Oops. It's hard when you get like a new brush like this because you don't really know how they work. All right, I'm gonna switch to the Refer 01 and kind of feather over that just to kind of smoke that out a little, or not really smoke it out, but diffuse it out because I don't really want it to be that strong. I love this brush from Refer, it's so good. It's perfect for blending things out like this that maybe you apply too much or you just need to kind of diffuse something. That brush is really, really great for that. All right, I'm gonna go into that BK Beauty 206 that we used for the eye primer on this first eye out here, kind of in this very outer corner, and try to like buff that color out a little bit because I definitely got more over there than I did over here. I'm trying to make them look a little bit more even. I'm gonna try another brush now. This is the Fluffy Crease Brush, and I just took a little bit of that face powder we used from Jouer. This is another really good trick that I'll do sometimes if I feel like something's a little bit too strong, I went in with too much. If you take a really good like pressed or loose face powder, you can usually kind of fix it. All right, now let's see. I did pull out that Hourglass topper, but I'm wondering if I should just use the topper from the Rose Topaz palette. Let's just do that. I'm just kind of putting it everywhere. We haven't really put anything else in that inner corner. All right, I know I pulled out that RMS purple liner. I kind of want to use this instead though. I have never put this on my eyes. This is Endless Cacao from Makeup Forever. Most people, I think, use it on the lips, like as a lip contour, but these are supposed to be used, or they can be used, like all over the face. And I've never used it on my eyes, so I'm gonna try it. It's a really pretty tone. It's like brown, but like a taupey gray brown. It's very, very, very pretty shade. Ooh, I kind of like it on the eyes, actually. I've never done that before. I've seen people even use this or these Makeup Forever pencils like all over their face, like to contour. I've never attempted to do that, but I've seen people using them everywhere. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the bronzer we used from Hourglass, and I'm going to apply a little bit of this in the crease as well, but I'm kind of focusing it in this inner part of the eye right here. I'm going to take that brush we used for the rosy shade, so the shade in the Tom Ford palette and then the Merit shade, and I'm just taking what's left on the brush under the eyes. And then I did kind of, I didn't really say this is what I was doing, but I did, after I lined the upper lash line with Endless Cacao, I kind of went under in the waterline with that color as well. Curling my lashes. I'm just doing one eye at a time. And I didn't pull a new mascara. I have the RMS mascara in my everyday makeup drawer this month, so we're just gonna use this. This is the Straight Up Peptide Volumizing Mascara in black. I will say this one I haven't had open for very long at all, and I feel like the formula has already gotten really thick and goopy. I don't think this one's gonna be a favorite. Finally, for lips, we pulled out a bunch of things. I'm not really sure what exactly I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna start with Makeup by Mario liner in Smoky Pink. This color is really pretty. I've definitely been sleeping on this shade. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of Endless Cacao, just right in the center. And then we pulled out a bunch of different things for the lips. This is Classic from Merit, but I also pulled out this from Chantecaille. This is one of the new lip sheers in Ringlet. I kind of want to try this. Let's do this. These are really pretty from Chantecaille. All right, now I'm thinking I want to do just, I want a little bit of a gloss, like a more nude gloss, I think. So I'm going to use this. This is in my everyday makeup right now. This is Nana from Westman Atelier. I'm just going to add a little bit of that. All right, this is the finished makeup and I really like it. I really love these Shop My Stash videos because I always end up discovering something, and this base makeup, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just all of these products work really well together, but the foundation, the concealer, the primer, like everything is just laying really nicely on my skin. So I'm gonna have to remember this combo, and I'm glad that I pulled out this e.l.f. foundation because this is beautiful. And you know, I was able to fix the shade pretty well, I think. So I'm very happy with how this turned out, but I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me, using some stuff I haven't used in a little while. And I hope it inspires you to get in your makeup stash, because I know if you're watching this video, you have a stash of makeup. Some makeup that you haven't used, that's been sitting there, and this is your sign to pull it out. Try using it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Everything I used will be listed and linked for you in the description box and in YouTube shopping. If you do shop through any of my links, I do make a commission that supports my channel. And if you are new here, I would love for you to subscribe, stick around, and make sure to follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.